Are y'all listening? You will be made rich in every way. That means not just in one way, rich in every way. So that you can be generous on every occasion. And through us, your generosity will result in thanksgiving to God. Expressions of thanks to God for the conclusion of the whole matter, because of service by which you have proved yourselves. Men will praise God for the obedience that accompanies your confession of the gospel of Christ, and for your generosity in sharing with them and everyone else. And in their prayers for you, their hearts will go out to you because of the surpassing grace God has given you. Thanks be to God for his indescribable gift. You may be seated in God's presence. Wow. I don't know about y'all, might have figured this out by now about me, but I'm a movie buff. I'm a movie person. I like when I do got a few minutes to sit down and breathe. I like finding out what movies is coming out, and I like to find out a little bit about what they're about. I don't always get to go to the movie, but I at least want to find out what the movie's about. Praise God. But I remember back in 1985, actually it was a remake of a movie that came out in 1945. It was a movie came out, Richard Pryor was in it, called Brewster's Millions. And if y'all remember the premise of the film, Richard Pryor played a guy named Montgomery Brewster, who was a minor league baseball pitcher in New Jersey. Called the name of the team was the Hackensack Bulls. And the premise of the movie was Montgomery Brewster had a distant relative that died. And I think from the film he was his great-grandfather. And in the movie, of course, Richard Pryor's a black man, but his great-grandfather was white fellow. And old white actor named Hume Cronin played. He was in a bunch of other movies. Him and Jessica, old white lady named Jessica Tandy was married to each other. But that's besides the point. That's neither here nor there. But anyway, in the movie, the objective was for Montgomery Brewster to spend $30 million in 30 days. And at the end of the 30 days, he could not have any assets to show for it. All he could have was the clothes on his back. And so, but the thing is that, and if he managed to do this, at the end of the 30 days, he would be penniless, he'd have no assets, and at the end of the 30 days, he would get $300 million. Yeah. So the real inheritance was the $300 million. Right. But the objective is that his great-grandfather was trying to teach him to actually hate money by giving him so much and forcing him to spend it in a certain amount of time. Okay. Well, somebody give me that challenge. That's all right. Anyway, but there was one other stipulation. He couldn't tell anybody what was going on. Because if he did that, that would throw everything out the water. Not only would he lose the leftover $30 million, but he would lose the shot at the $300 million. Boy, that's something. That's something. And so the rest of the movie, he was doing stupid stuff trying to get rid of $30 million in 30 days. He hired somebody on the spot to take his pictures. They didn't know what they were doing. He hired a photographer on the shot to document what he was doing. The guy didn't know what he was doing. He wasn't any good. He was a jackleg photographer, and he hired him to take his pictures. He hired another guy to drive him around. He rented clothes. He rented a hotel room. He did all he could to spend his money on what were actually depreciable items and disposable items. So items that left him with nothing in the end. There's a difference between renting an apartment and buying a house. There's a difference. Y'all know that. I'm not talking to anybody that doesn't know that already, because when you're renting, you're just renting the space. It doesn't really belong to you. But when you're owning the place, when you have a mortgage, that means that is an asset that is added to your name. So not only when you're renting, you don't have the asset of real estate, but when you have a mortgage, you have the asset of real estate. Okay. But the thing is that there's a difference between items that appreciate and items that depreciate. See, the problem with black people is that we spend too much money on depreciable stuff. That's another discussion for another day. We need to reprioritize ourselves and invest our dollars on things that appreciate.